What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL Game Week 8 captaincy video. I wasn't actually going to do one. I just thought everyone was going to go Harry Kane as captain this week. But then I had a look and I thought I'm not 100% sure I'll be doing Harry Kane. And also I seen in the last video some people were asking about different players. So I thought I'll pop up a video and yeah, see what happens. So looking at last week's captaincy suggestions, that's how they did. So I went Salah. I did say that on the video mainly because I didn't have Mane. So based on what we thought, it was average enough. I feel bad for anyone that did go Mane. But yeah, nothing really to talk about there. So the games we're going to chat about today: Everton United, and I'm sure some people are wondering which team we're potentially going to be captain from those players. Chelsea, Sheffield United, West Ham, Fulham, and West Brom Spurs. So let's get into that, shall we? Before we do, actually, let's just talk about the team. So we're going to, as you've probably just seen there, I'm going to talk about Dominic CalvertLewin. So just on United, right? They've conceded 13 goals in 6 games. I don't know if anyone watched their Champions League game there last night. The 2 goals they conceded, like, what? I'm actually... Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like the first goal. Like, at 0-0 after, 12 minutes. Demba Ba's about 20 yards free in the opposition half. Like, that just blew my mind. The shots they've conceded in the Premier League, they've conceded 25 shots and also 26 crosses. So, look, Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets quite a lot of headed goals. So, that could be a potentially important stat. But the stat that I'm really interested in here is how many minutes do United play per expected goal conceded? It's the 3rd worst in the Premier League at 57 minutes. So every 57 minutes, they're expected to concede a goal. I think it's only Leeds and West Brom that are actually worse than them. So I'm sure there's not a huge amount of people considering captaining an Everton player, but based on those stats, I wouldn't necessarily rule it out. So Sheffield United conceded 10 in 7. So look, a lot better than Man United, but still not. Well, actually, that's not too bad for Sheffield United. The thing that's more worrying though is the amount of shots they've conceded. So 41 shots and 61 crosses into their box. They've conceded an expected goal every 73 minutes. So again, a lot better than United, but you could argue that they may be playing better than they should based on their XG ratings. West Ham against Fulham, so it's obviously tricky with Antonio being out, but just looking at Fulham, so they've conceded 14 goals in 7, so basically 2 goals a game. Shots conceded 34, crosses conceded 34, and their minutes per expected goal conceded is 67 minutes, so kind of midway between United and Sheffield United. And finally West Brom, so conceded 16 goals in 7 games. I think that's the worst in the Premier League. Shots conceded 48. 77 crosses they've conceded. That's an insane amount of balls that get pumped into the box. I think pretty much any time a big team play West Brom, at home anyway, you'd be certainly considering captaining them. Their minutes per expected goal, as I just said there, it's the second worst behind Leeds. 52 minutes. Every 52 minutes they're expected to concede a goal. So let's look at the players you might consider to captain. First game, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So again, like, he's been one of the star players this year. Expected goals 5.2. That's huge for him. He's playing on confidence as well with his England call-ups. He's definitely one to consider. Penalty area touches 19. Now, all of his goals have actually come in the penalty area, so that's something worth considering, especially when United are conceding so many crosses in the box. Goal attempts 11, which isn't bad considering I think he scored 7 or 8, so he's quite prolific. And his minutes per expected goal 116, which is one of the highest in the Premier League this year. So look, I'm not necessarily tipping Dominic Calvert-Lewin as a must-have captain, but he's definitely a must-have consideration. So yeah, don't completely rule him out. Werner. So spoke about him last week, and I kind of went against him in the end for putting him in my team. Sorry. And I done it again this week. I was very, very close to putting him in my team, especially considering there's not a guarantee I'll have 11 players playing. But again, I'm just not going with it. It's just something I'm still not happy with. Now, he is on penalties. Frank Lampard pretty much just said there in the media yesterday that he told Jorginho that he's not on penalties anymore. Simple as. Werner got 2 penalties there in the week and scored them both. So it's something you always want to consider. His expected goals, though, 2.1. So almost a third of Dominic CalvertLewin. So, I mean, he was dropped last week. We need to not forget. Pulisic actually pulled up injured in the warm-up and he got his chance. In fairness, he got a goal and did look quite good. So I expect him to play. But he's definitely not nailed on to start as we've seen there last weekend. One thing that is quite good about him is penalty area touches, 41. It's I think it might be the most in the Premier League this season. And his goal attempts, 17. Minutes per expected goal, though, is where it's a bit of a risk, 282. So although he's had the most penalty area touches and a lot of goal attempts, he's not really doing much with that. So I'm probably, again, going to rule him out for this week. So this might make you laugh, right? And the only reason we're talking about West Ham against Fulham is A, because Fulham are so bad, but B, in my last video, a couple of people were asking me about different West Ham players to captain. Someone even suggested captaining Kufal or Sufal, however you pronounce his name. So we need to have a quick chat about that. And I mean, it's only going to be a quick chat. Do not captain Sufal. Don't captain a defender generally. God, I can't think of the last time I captained a defender. I think the only time you captain a defender is if it was a double game week and there was a serious reason why you had to go for that team and only had him in it. But I certainly won't be captaining a defender generally. So you can you'll never hear me say that that's a good thing to be doing. So Sebastian Haller, not a huge amount to say. He's not played many minutes, but sure, the stats we've got: 0.35 expected goals. It's low, even though he's not played too many minutes. That's still particularly low. Penalty area touches 6, which is okay for the minutes he's had. Goal attempts 3, again, not the worst for the minutes he's had. But the big problem is his minutes per expected goal. So 354 minutes you'd be waiting for his expected goal. So that's why I'm instantly ruling out Sebastian Haller and probably any West Ham player. So let's just move on from this slide, shall we? This is the slide you're here for. The two lads, 99% of people are probably thinking they've already captained a Tottenham player for this week. That stat's obviously made up. 99% of people don't own both those players or even one of them. So let's look at their underlying stats anyway. So we'll start with Son, shall we? So his expected goals, 2.82. Now, he blanked last week. He didn't look as lively. Now, I think consistency is probably the main reason you might not go for Son in general. Some weeks he may get 20 points, some weeks he'll get 2. So he's kind of a player, if you're willing to ride the wave and just captain him constantly, similar to what I kind of do with Salah, you'll probably end up at the end of the season happy enough. But in any given game week, he's nowhere near as consistent as Kane. So 2.82 expected goals. Average enough. He's definitely overperforming. What has he got? 7 or 8 goals? Some crazy amount of goals he's got so far. His expected goals does not tell that tale. So he's definitely overperforming. Penalty area touches, 31. Very, very good, especially for a midfielder. Goal attempts, 15. That's really, really good. His minutes per expected goal is the problem, though. 202. So again, he's overperforming. Just because he's got X amount of goals does not mean that that's something that's going to continue. So I'd probably rule him out of this week if I had Harry Kane anyway. So on to Harry Kane. 5.84 expected goals. So he's one of the few players, maybe the only player that's got more expected goals than Calvert-Lewin this season. Penalty area touches, only one more than Son, 32. Now, what needs to be mentioned here is we're not even talking about Harry Kane's expected assist tally. This is purely expected goals. So the amount of assists he's already got this season is unbelievable. So we need to factor that in as well. Now, for the purposes of this, we're only talking about the goals. Goal attempts, 31. Again, like really right up there. I think that might be the highest in the Premier League this season as well. And his minutes per expected goal, 106. The best on any of the players on this video. So look, all the signs kind of point to Harry Kane. So the only reason I probably wouldn't go for Kane is if I'm looking for a differential. At this stage in the season, I'm not sure you really need a differential. Like if you're worried about trying to catch people up, you should be focused on not falling further behind. Like you don't need to take these sort of gambles until later on in the season. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So just to put them in the table like we did last week, and again, each week we'll maybe come back and just see exactly how we did. Harry Kane's the guy I'm obviously going to go for unless something really drastic happens between now and 4 o'clock tomorrow. Dominic CalvertLewin, he's the tip of the week though. I think I'm going to be putting a few quid on him to get a goal. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets multiple goals. And usually when DCL gets a goal, he gets some bonus points to go with it. Some players, they get goals all the time and they don't seem to get bonus points. Jimenez seems to be one of them. Werner and Haller, look, I'm sure a few people were talking about captaining him anyway, but don't bother doing it. Or if you do, let me know. It's a brave decision to make. So, yeah, that's the captaincy choices for this week. If you're not going with Harry Kane, do leave a comment in the field below. Let me know why. I'd love to hear some reasons, and maybe someone can nudge me into captaining someone else. Other than that, don't forget to change your team. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock is the deadline. I know full well, come 7 o'clock tomorrow, even Saturday morning, there'll be a huge amount of people regretting not changing their team. So don't forget that one. And yep, this will definitely be the last video before next game week. We'll probably have one up for Sunday. And yeah, best of luck to everyone, and we'll see you soon.